Well, hey folks, how y'all doing? This is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from my man cave. I have a pretty big announcement. All right, not a big plane, obviously it's a plane, but I've got a plane that is the absolute latest release from Freewing that Motion RC hasn't even made mention of it yet. Nothing. I haven't seen anything in the forums, and but I'm sure they'll be selling it because they sell all the Freewing products in the United States. But I've got it already. It is the all new, just released Freewing L-15 JL10. Now this is a Chinese trainer that comes in two plug-and-play versions. You have the basic plug-and-play version, which runs on a 4S end runner, or you can opt for the 6S version that runs on a end runner that has the upgraded trailing link suspension instead of the chicken wire. This also features their new generation of Guard 6-axis gyro installed, which is what they're going to be going to. And also, this has standard thrust reverse, flaps, and full functioning elevator. Yeah, the whole elevator. The whole thing moves, not just the back half. So, a lot of features packed into a little plane. Does not have retracts, however, does have the better suspension. So that frees up a channel, but you've got that gyro for that channel. So you're going to need at least a 6-channel receiver. Actually, no, you need a 7-channel because if you want to use thrust reverse and the gyro on its own separate switch for all the different modes, then you're going to need 2 channels for that and flaps and the rest of the channels. So you need a 7-channel receiver, and if you get it, if you wait till Motion RC sells that, you can go ahead and pick up the Lemon RX Gen 2, which is a 7-channel, working 7-channel receiver that I'll put these up as far as range and reliability. I'll put these up any day against any Spectrum. Now, they're not, the one that has the stabilizer, setting the stabilizer up is a little more complicated than forward programming. But they both have the ability, or that stabilizer receiver, which is the one upgraded from that one, is $33, has 7 channels, and also features on your 8th channel, which, yeah, you can have it kind of a shadow 8th channel. You're able to do your gains just like you do with forward programming. That allows that also, but your transmitter has to support that. Well, anyways, let's unbox this and see how it looks, and then we might just go ahead and build it too. Now, there is no information on the new 6-axis gyro, so I will have to sit and work on that and figure that out, and then I'll show that to you in a separate video for the radio setup. But I think it's going to be a pretty simple build, so we'll probably just go ahead and put her together in this unboxing. As usual, everything is nice and packed well. The manual is not folded. And you're wondering, well, how did I get this? RC Castles in China over there, they get everything fresh off the dock from Freewing. Okay, I got this from RC Castles. It was $179, and I went ahead and paid the $60 in shipping. So I can go ahead and get that here early. It was released, this was officially released on December 9th. Then they had delay and didn't release it till the 12th of December. Freewing didn't, they wanted to make sure everything was working right. So they released it on December 12th, and then mine was pre-ordered, so I got mine. Does not have lights, but as with all Freewing products, everything is packaged perfect. So, looks like your ace bar is already installed. CG marks, as they're doing with all their planes, right there. Now this one has a little bit of crunch from shipping, but that's actually okay. It's not bad. You can see a little bit of a, come around the box there, you can see a little bit, but it's not horrible. It's not as bad on the top there. But this did come all the way from China. With Hobby or with RC Castle, you don't have a choice on shipping. It's their one rate, and this is like $63. There, plastic tipped nose cone, and that is so sharp that could cut you. All right, here is the vertical stabilizer, which looks wonderful. Ball link already hooked up for you. It does have a foam hinge. Look at the hinges here on this. Foam hinge also for the flaps and elevator, or flaps and aileron, but that's okay. I'll use the hold the foam treatment on it. These are simulated doors that are static, and they just go. They would, if you had retracts, they would close in, but I don't have retracts on this. One little bag of nuts and bolts. Looks like 2mm hex drive and a 2mm or 1.5. Either 1.5 or 2mm hex drive gets it done. There's the trailing link suspension. Bottle of glue, because you do have the some sort of free gift. Looks like a voltage alarm, which is handy. This must be, the ever famous Freewing thing in case you wonder what those are when you get a Freewing. They're little plastic hinges if you want to reinforce your phone hinges, which I never use that. I never use them things, but you can save them using them in other models. Other wing, this one is not crunched because the inside wing went to the inside of the box. Quick connects for the wings, which is handy, which I'm seeing that more and more. Missiles. They have that same attachment system that we've gotten used to. Okay, this is always look at every nook and cranny and crevice, because you never know what you may find or miss. That's loud, isn't it? Your full floating horizontal stabs. Yeah, those two push control rods, that's your one thing you're going to be hooking up, are your full floating stabs. Very nice. Very nice finish. Last, well, hold on. More missiles. More missiles. Okay. Last but not least, the fuselage. Fuselage. Keep up with all your debris. Very nice looking fuselage. Very nice. Good looking plane. You got your pilot in there. Hello. Very large battery bay. XT60 connector. This is the 6-axis guard gyro system. I'm hoping that in the instructions there is something on that, because I couldn't find anything online about it. And one thing, I don't know if you notice or not, they put their, looks like they put a stamp right there. I'm thinking that's like for their inspection. Very large cheater right here. Keep that ESC cool, and that is a, should be a 50 amp. Yeah, I think it's a 50 amp ESC. Big 64 millimeter fan in there. And like I said, it's got those quick connects, so should be a ribbon that you pull out here. Has to be. Okay. Well, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, that little, it's just tucked in there. See, and then you pull that out to connect your wings. So let's go ahead and let's put this together. Now this is pretty obvious the way this goes. It has a very nice connection there for your horizontal stabilizer. Let's move all of our missiles out of the way. Okay, we'll put our attention. All right, we're back. What I did was I took a small Allen wrench. Okay, my kit, I guess they left that little pin that's supposed to hang out of the bottom of this gear for you to take your grub screws that are included and attach it to. All right, well, it must have fallen out, so I cut a little piece of old Allen wrench about 3/4 of an inch long. The nice thing about an old Allen wrench is they have the slotted flat sides. Slid that into this bottom base here. Okay, let me show you up close. I slid that into that base, and with the other end, which has flat sides stuck up, and then that grub screw attached there, and then that grub screw attached there. So I now have a fully working articulating landing gear that works, and it's exact. And I just kept trimming it until the top of the nose gear fit nice and it's on there. It ain't going nowhere. All right. So that's, this is a new production model, just came out, so I expected a few things. Unfortunately, they're all the way in China, so communicating back and forth, hey, you forgot this, you left that out, is going to be a problem. So I'm getting this now so that you can see what to expect when Motion RC starts selling it, and then I would wait till they sell it, because then you can deal with a U.S. based company, and if you've got problems, you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I got a problem. Okay, show us what the problem is. They can take care of it. Not so easy with the companies across the pond. All right, so let's go ahead and put on our wings. Now for the wings, you have a little bag of bits. Okay, the ones that have the pointy end screws are the ones that you're going to use. You have two. These are the pointy ends I'm talking about. I don't know. They have the sharp edge, and they take a 2 meter hex drive. And then you're going to have two that are off in a baggie by themselves. That's going to be for the elevator. So let's go ahead and open up these screws here, the ones that have the pointy end on them. Okay. And invest in these things, little magnetic trays. They just make your life so much easier. Okay. Wing spars are already in the wings. Okay. So this is a little bird for a 6S. This thing's gonna scream. Slide your wing in. As you see, you have the quick connect with the ribbons right here in my hand. And turn this to where I can see it, where I can see the quick connect. easier said than done. Alright, got 2 channels on top of that quick connect, and they're going to go up. Dang it, wish I had more quick connect. Alright, that's in there. Okay, you got just enough quick connect to go in there, and then get your wing spar in there. And that's going to slide in there like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get the other wing connected up. Same sort of process. All right, well, I'm showing you what you have to do, because you don't really have room for your fingers. All right. Get your quick connect hooked up first, okay? With the prong, you got some 2 flat prongs towards the up of the wing. Then you're going to have to kind of pivot your wing to get your spar in there, get the line up, and then the whole thing, make sure that the quick connect is still good. And then the whole thing will slide in to those fittings. Okay. All right. Make sure that that quick connect is on there good. Okay. And it is. All right. Now, you can see where your screws go in. There's kind of a countersunk sort of surface there. Okay. These pointy screws that take the 2mm. Okay, just tighten them up. You ain't gonna go crazy with them. They're going into plastic. It's not going into, you gotta remember, this is not one of the high-end 80mm. This is kind of on the lower end. So you want to go into plastic, hard plastic backing, just so it doesn't take much. Okay. Same thing, we're going to put our pointy ends. Nice and tight. There's a kind of a bottoming out sensation you'll feel, and then don't push it any further than that. It's obvious, but don't push it any further than that. Okay, those wings are on there. All right, now that concludes installing your wings. Your wings are on, they're nice and secure. You've got your quick connection in place, and all your control surfaces are already hooked up. So that will conclude putting on your wings. Now, let's move on to the vertical horizontal stabilizers. Now this has a very specific point. Okay? And I put the nose cone on already. And the specific point about this is you're going to use, instead of them pointy, you're going to use them 2 little screws that have the flat ends on them. Okay? Because if you look right there, there's a, let me pick this up where you can see it. There's a little groove right there. Okay? That little groove there. Well, that pointy end, or not the pointy end, but the flat end of that screw is going to slide in that channel. Okay? So you don't want to anchor it all the way down where it's touching. You want to take it all the way to the bottom and then back off half a turn, because you don't want the control surface to bind. All right, so let's put this one, slide this one in. Has an obvious point where it just kind of pops in there. Put this one in. Okay. Well, That didn't really pop in there. That's okay. We'll take our screw. This should have. You know what? I may be lying to you. No, that's right. It is that flat part of the screw. Go ahead and get it almost all the way in there. Slide that on. Okay. That's on there. That's in that groove. It's not going to come off. But let me see if I go all the way to the bottom. Okay, I'm starting to feel friction. So I'm going to back off enough because I want it to move freely but not be able to pull off. Okay, do the other side. Exact same process. Taking the screw that has the flat end on it. Okay. Feel the friction. That's just kind of barely moving for me. So I'm going to back off just a touch where it moves more freely. There we go, but it won't slide off. Okay. All right, so that's the basic of that. Now we're going to turn the model over. I'm not going to hook up the linkages just yet because I want to bind the aircraft, get everything centered first before I do that. All right, now I'm going to take two more of these flat screws, flat-headed screws that have the pointy end. I'm going to use them next to put in the, actually going to use 4 of them. And I do have 4 left. Okay, 2 on either side. And you see these hard points on the fuselage? The hard points? That's what they're screwing into. This is not a big model. This is actually about the same size as their Banshee, but it's a 6S bird. So small 6S, like a 2200 up to a 3000. But mind your polarity whenever you're hooking up 2 servo leads. Light to light, dark to dark. There's a nice channel for that to sit down in there for, and won't get bound. Just make sure it's not bound. That slides in there like that. We're going to put in our servo leads, or put in our screws. This physically looks a lot like the Yak 130. So I'm going to assume it's probably going to fly like that with that great big vertical stabilizer. It's going to probably have a very locked in feel. But this is a jet trainer in real life anyway, so. Can't get over that nose. I mean, that nose looks sharp. All right, you get no extra screws in the kit. Okay? So those little magnetic trays are an absolute must. All right. All right, that concludes installing your already hooked up vertical stabilizer, otherwise known as rudder. All right. And the next step will be all of our peripherals. all the stuff we glue on. All right, so now we're going to do peripherals. First thing you're going to do, take your nose cone. It's magnetic, slides in there only one way. And then you have three other things and the missiles that you're going to attach using the included glue. All right, let's go ahead and put our missiles on first. We put our nose cone on. Put your model, turn your model over. Okay. The larger missiles go to the inside slot. It's obvious how they go. Should just fit right on there. Just slide back. Okay. These slide as there's a, let me show you. There is a slot on the front there. That's just slides, the missile slides back on. So they're just a friction fit. Very simple. Grab my missiles. Very simple. I actually like this system. This is nice. All right, now, got your missiles on. Now you've got two other things to attach. Well, you got one other thing attached, so I don't know what. These are for, these little, but I'm sure they go somewhere. Let's go ahead and get the one done that's obvious. It shows it on in the instructions. That is this black antenna. There's a spot for it to slide in right there. Just need a little bit of glue for that. So I'm going to take the included glue. Ouch. Nice thing about this glue, if you look on the cap, there's a little pointy thing in there. You slide that in there, that punctures the glue. Give us a great big tab of tube of glue for just a few minor things. And with this kind of glue, you put it in, pull it back out, let it sit for just a few seconds. You know, let it a little stringy, then put it back in, and you're good to go. It doesn't. Not like foam tack where you pull it out for a full minute and then put it back. All right, see if we can't figure out where in the instructions what those little two plastic things are. Don't even see them in the picture of them. So I may have to guesstimate what they are. Okay. Well, I don't see, and they're colored light blue, unless they slide in here. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what they're, yeah, that's it. They slide, these slide in that little slot right there on the side. Let me make sure there's one on the other side, and there is. All right, you can see that little slot up there between them two stars. All right, there again, like I said, this is the first run of this model. So there's going to be little things. So if you wait for Motion RC to buy this, let them know, hey, Fat Guy Flies RC, his didn't have a pin on that upgraded gear. So, all right, that goes in there. There's a bug in here. Okay. And I hope this doesn't make Motion RC mad that I'm presenting this before they're even able to release it. But you know what? They won't make me an affiliate, and they won't send me any planes out for a review. This is not a revenge thing. This is for y'all. I've tried to say, hey, you know, I got a lot of people watch my stuff, and you know, I can do a review for you, whatever you want me to do. And no, we got what we need. Okay. I say that. I don't even know if they ever responded. And that is the fully built, fully assembled, and it's not a build, it's an assembly. To me, building means cutting, measuring, and fabrication to get an end product. This is an assembly. You're just putting it together. Now, remember, I have not hooked up the horizontal stabilizers because I don't do that until I bound up the radio. All right, well, that concludes the unboxing and the assembly of the all brand new Freewing L-15 slash JL-10, which is a Chinese fighter. She runs on 6S. She has an included 6S, the new generation of guard gyro, which I'm going to study that now, and then I'll come back with a radio setup. All right, folks, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and cool-looking jets. Bye-bye. Now I have to turn it off.